You don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. But nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. I could always count on you. I could always count on you. Don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. When nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. I could always count on you. I could always count on you.
What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing? It is summertime once again, like I've been saying. Really don't have a great intro. Still need to get a better intro. Joined here with Jackson and maybe John to be coming. But Jackson, how's your day going?
It's just going dandy, Josh. How's yours going?
It's going pretty good. Brody in the comment section just wants to shout out to you. You were here literally when we in the first 5 seconds. But we're gonna start it off right away with a question from Brody. He says, "Who do you think is going to win the series and what game?" Raptors in 7.
Um, well, Game 6 Clay is a cheat code, so.
Oh,
But I'm
Hearn
gonna,
update.
but
Oh
I'm gonna
my!
say Raptors in 6. I'm gonna say Raptors. I'm gonna say it, and I've been picking Golden State the entire time, but I just
Two
with no
big
Kevin
things
Durant.
just happened.
What's up?
One, you picked the Raptors to actually win in Game 6, and Ryan O'Hearn just hit it almost past the fountains in right field.
Homer?
Yeah.
Finally, God, that guy. Hate
I,
to
I
be a
agree with
hater,
you,
but
Brody. Raptors in 7, but
I'm gonna say it. Raptors in 6. Last game at Oracle Arena is gonna be a big fat L.
that would suck to end that's in there, like the last game ever, and that's how it's ending.
That'd be great.
That would be great for any fan that's not a Warriors fan. But Birdie said the GM for the Warriors was also in tears after the game about KD. And to be honest,
Yo,
I'm
what the hell was that?
I don't know.
I
All I'm gonna
mean,
say is we reported it here first about KD tearing his Achilles.
it hasn't even been reported yet.
But I mean, it says they're fearing it.
Yeah, they haven't even officially reported it though. I bet they just want it to keep privacy, but like,
It's eventually gonna get out. Here, we'll ask our sources again. But no, that the Warriors starting KD yesterday was probably the dumbest thing they could have done.
yeah, no, I totally agree there. I don't, man, that's tough because you saw. I think someone made a good point this morning about how the team was, bragging about Kevin or Klay Thompson for coming back from injuries and fighting for the team, and I think that kind of got to Kevin Durant because he wanted to fight too for the guys, and with their backs against the wall, he really felt the pressure to play, and he really felt like they needed him, and they just, um, they just eked out a win, and he unfortunately went down early.
Yeah. Um. For the Warriors GM crying though, I felt like that was a little too far.
Yeah, he was that seemed so fake. That was like, hey, Kevin, I I care about you so much. Please resign.
No, I don't
Like,
think KD. Like, I think he realized that he might have screwed up his future. Either
well, it
he's
wasn't
actually
his.
caring about
It
KD.
wasn't his. It wasn't ultimately his decision,
No, and
right?
I
I mean,
don't
it
know why
wasn't
he's saying
just.
to blame him. The people you should be blaming is the doctor that actually said he's clear to play.
Yeah, I mean, well, he might have um been cleared to play, and that calf strain may have gotten better. But I think if there's anybody to blame, it's Steve Kerr for playing him 12 of the first 14 minutes. I mean, I felt like that was. I felt like if you would have played him, look, honestly, I would have played him 15 minutes total if I was Steve Kerr. I don't think he could
I
have
felt
done
like
much
that's
more.
what he should have done, kind of like what he did with Boogie
When I heard
in
there
game one.
wasn't, when I heard there wasn't a minutes restriction, I was a little puzzled because I was like, "Holy crap!" I mean, you're talking about a guy
Who just got cleared.
that has been out for 31 days, and you're just gonna, oh, okay, here you are in the starting lineup against the best defense in the NBA and the biggest stage in the NBA. Here, go give it your all. Like, they're humans. You gotta ease them back into things. To be fair, Kevin Durant looked like he didn't even miss a beat. He was straight balling. He looked like he was on pace for 40. But I mean, unfortunately he went down with an injury.
Something I do want to talk about is PSG said Blues in 7 hopefully. Big games tomorrow.
That is going to be a great game. I am looking
I'm working
forward
and
to
I'm
watching
so
it.
mad I can't watch it.
There'll be a live stream on Reddit.
I'm just so frustrated about that. But no,
I
what I
am
do
so excited.
what I do want to talk about is the Raptors fans cheering for KD going down. Look, I get you're happy, but this dude, you don't cheer for someone getting injured. Coming from a Chiefs fan, I understand. Like,
Here's what I'll say. I'll say I don't approve of you cheering for a guy getting injured, but I do root against Kevin Durant and wish nothing but failure for him. I don't want him to get physically hurt, but I don't want him to win, if you understand what I'm saying. I absolutely hate the guy. I cannot stand him. He's such a soft cupcake. And yeah, you don't cheer for an injury. Like, I'm not saying I wanted him to get hurt, right? But I feel like
What if it's
um,
Tom Brady? I still won't cheer, but I mean,
I would rather beat Tom Brady than watch him get hurt and then
and that's
beat.
kind of what I felt like I wanted
No,
to
but
see
this is
happen
a different thing.
yesterday.
I think a lot of people can agree this series is closer because Kevin Durant's not playing, and I feel like if KD was healthy, this would have been over in 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I think KD not playing has been good for the competitiveness and the entertainment of the series. Obviously, it's not good for the brand of the NBA to have a guy that is a top 5 player in the world not be playing in the biggest stage. However, I feel like if Kevin Durant was playing, this series would have been over in 4 or 5, and Golden State would have already won. So, like I said, I don't wish Kevin Durant any health injuries or any health problems, but I do root against that guy. And it does not bother me not to see him on the court. If he just wanted to take the series off, I would have been completely fine with that. And I thought, you know what, this is a good thing for the NBA Finals. Whenever Kevin Durant wasn't playing in the first, 4 games, because those games were actually good games for the most part and fun to watch.
And
Now,
so was yesterday.
last night was probably the best game of the series. However, that game wouldn't have been close if Kevin Durant played the entire time. Kevin Durant came out, hit 3 threes in a row, and just looked absolutely unguardable. Golden State probably wins by 10 or 20 if Kevin Durant. So I feel like for this to be an entertaining series, Kevin Durant cannot play in it. And I feel like that's what it's been like the last 2 years. I feel like if we would have had Cavs Warriors these last 2 years and Durant wasn't on the Warriors, they would have been classic series. But it's like Hakeem Olajuwon joining the Bulls or like Shaq joining the Bulls. There's nothing that ruins it. It's over. It's like you're probably the second best player, you're probably the second best player in the world that's not on that, and you go and join it. I mean, they're unbeatable at that point.
Yeah, but going back to what PSG said, if it's Tom Brady, I still want to cheer. I don't want to. I don't want to see a team win because someone got injured. I want to see a team win because they deserved it and they fought for the win. Like,
Well, I mean,
and I'm the one thing is Drake did show that he felt bad for KD, and like I get it, but at the same time it's like, was he just doing that?
I think it looks bad publicly if you say that.
You there, Jackson?
What?
Oh, there you go. Okay, you're back.
I just think it's bad to. I mean, a person with Drake fame isn't going to come out and say they're happy the guy gets injured.
Well, he also
However,
has his number tattooed.
correct. But the thing I'm saying is, like, you said that you want a team to win it just because they won it, not because of an injury. I would argue Toronto's deserving of this, and that it's not just
Exactly,
Kevin
they
Durant.
deserved it.
But I mean, would they win this with Kevin Durant playing? Probably not. But that's not their fault. I mean, they went through a great Bucks team, a good 76ers team, and now they're beating a. People forget this Warriors team is still very, very good without Kevin Durant. And so, I mean, Toronto absolutely deserves this if they're able to pull it off. If they somehow blow this 3-1 lead, they need to fold the franchise.
Which, I mean, it's not out. It's not that far out. If they win on Wednesday, it's a new series. It's win or go home.
I think a lot of people expect Golden State to win Game 6, and I think Golden State plays their worst when.
I like this question coming from Brett. He says, "Do you think you could say Drake is helping the fan base and the players to win the championship?"
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
100%. I think, if you want to admit it or not, I think Drake gets players' heads a little bit. And just the energy Drake brings, like
that's my point. I don't think he gets in the players' heads.
I mean,
He got
I
into
think he does.
Draymond's after the game one, but I mean,
but I'm just saying. I mean, Drake brings so much. Drake is Toronto. If you're really thinking about it, who really gave a rip about Toronto before? Obviously, Toronto's been going in a it's been a popular place way before Drake. But I'm saying Drake really put it on the map. The six and he's just talking about the NBA Finals and I think a lot of people don't even really understand. You can call Drake a bandwagon. You can say what you want about him. He is definitely, and he has literally Curry and KD tattooed. But the support he's had for the Raptors, and I feel like he represents what Toronto really is. And like before him, who the hell knew that the six was Toronto? Like nobody. So, I mean, I think it's a good thing for the NBA. I've heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's what's the difference between that fan that shoved Kyle Lowry and Drake, rubbing Steve Kerr's or Nick Nurse's shoulders?" There's a complete difference there. Drake is literally paid by the Raptors to be there, right? Like that's what happens. Drake is supposed to be there. Other than Kawhi Leonard, a lot of the guys seem to acknowledge him and embrace him.
yeah,
so
Kawhi
I think
literally walked past Drake when Drake tried hyping him up going to the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the video, but
Kawhi's too.
Drake put down his phone, got up, and wanted a high five from Kawhi and did not get it. It was pretty funny, if I do say so.
We literally lost. I mean, that was in line to be one of the greatest ends to a season ever with Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he literally went on a 10-0 run by himself. I mean, that was Kobe-like. That was Kobe-like. I mean, that's the closest thing to Kobe I've seen since Kobe. And Nick Nurse, he calls a timeout. I mean, why? You're up 6. You're on a 10-0 run.
He give his players a rest.
Hell no. You know what that did? That gave Golden State a rest. And Draymond even said after that was needed. You could tell Golden State was deflated and they looked tired. They only had 1:30 left. I don't think that Steve Kerr was going to use it at that particular instance. And Toronto had 4. And didn't they call back-to-back or some crap like that? So it was just that was the one thing this entire postseason I think Nick Nurse has failed on. I think Nick Nurse has been great as a coach for Toronto.
Costed him the title.
I mean, it really could have. And then because Kawhi was in a zone, and then after the timeout, they only scored 2 more points. I mean, You can't. You killed the vibe. You killed the momentum. Everything.
All right. So now that we head into Game 6, KD's gone.
For sure.
Who do you see winning this game? You see the Raptors.
I do, because I think Golden State plays worse whenever they're expected to win, and I think they're expected to win this game.
What do you
They're
mean
the
they've
favorite
been expected to win the past 5 years and they've only lost once?
Well, I'm saying they play better as underdogs. I'm telling you.
Oh, Hamilton with a great catch.
Last night, I mean, they were not favored to win. They came out and won. Odds
No, they
against
were
them.
favored by 1.
No, Toronto was.
No, it was definitely the Warriors.
Toronto's line went from 3.5 to 1 when they said KD was playing.
I thought that was the Warriors. All right, never mind.
But I can officially check. Oh, you're right. Golden State by 1.5. It changed that much.
All right.
It went from, but yesterday before Kevin Durant was gonna play, it was Raptors by 3.5. So, I mean, I don't know, but I forget the line even. I'm just saying, whenever they're not supposed to be winning, I guess you could say, I feel like they put the chip on their shoulder, but everyone kind of expects them to win Game 6. They're at home. They just won a huge Game 5, and
I feel like Raptors fans also know that too, because you can just tell everyone's devastated.
well, I mean, the one
There's
positive is
just that
Game 7.
vibe.
We're probably gonna get a Game 7, to be honest, but I want to say Toronto's gonna go in there and beat them, but I don't. When's the last time a team beat the Warriors 3 times in Oracle in a series? Has that even happened in the Steve Kerr era? I honestly don't think so. Like when
No.
Cleveland won the ship, they only won there twice. So I mean, it's a really rough thing. And
I mean, the Warriors have only lost 1 series under Steve Kerr, so
it's man, that's insane. I mean, it really is. But I feel like the Warriors dynasty is coming to an end. It won't be over. They're still going to be good, but I mean, KD will not play next year. Until maybe March, but KD will not play next year. And so,
for the whole year,
I mean, do you think he will?
he has the off season. I bet he comes back for late February, early March.
I mean, a torn Achilles is a devastating injury.
I mean, hey, we don't know that's a torn Achilles. I mean, that's what our sources told us.
It really looks like one, but hey.
Brody says he thinks he has one. Oh, never mind. He thinks KD will play.
I mean, Kevin Durant will not play. If 100% Kevin Durant will not play before the All-Star game next year. I don't think there's a way.
I agree with that.
I mean, that would be a miracle by itself. And so.
I mean, this happened? What happened to Boogie? Didn't he have a really bad tear?
Yeah, Boogie tore his
in January, and it took him a whole
year.
and
he didn't come back till January the next year. I mean, it's a 12-month injury. It really is.
Brody said, the Achilles, wait, who told you he tore it?
Sources. Unnamed.
We can't name sources.
It will come out officially sometime soon.
But no, if it's as bad as Boogie's, I mean, Boogie took the whole year.
Boogie, I mean, yeah.
If Boogie didn't tear his ACL, do you think he's still on the Warriors?
You mean his Achilles? Yeah. I don't think he'd be on the Warriors. No way in hell. Someone would have paid up. Maybe not the Pelicans, but somebody would have. The thing was, the biggest offer he ended up getting after the season was 2 years, $40 million, $20 million a year. And so even though he was offered more money, I mean, let's say he didn't tear his Achilles in January, we're looking at a max player, right? I think a lot of people would have paid DeMarcus Cousins the max after that season if he didn't. But it's kind of ridiculous to pay a player the max if they're only going to be able to play for you half a season, unless there's someone like Kevin Durant or LeBron James. So I feel like, that him tearing his Achilles basically put him on the Warriors. Now, There's a lot more that factors into. I mean that yeah, you can kind of make a correlation there.
All right. Now, let's go back to actually the game 5 now that I'm just thinking about it. If you're Nick Nurse, do you call the timeout on your last play?
This is an interesting one, and I'm gonna side with Nick Nurse here. I think no. Um, I think the difference is if you call a timeout, Golden State gets to put their best defensive players on the court. I bet you. Well, I can't guarantee anything, but I think you would have taken Curry and put Curry out and put Livingston in. Like that's how much. Like I think Livingston's a better defender. Maybe they don't do that. I don't know. But I feel like if you call a timeout, they get to set up their defense. It's a completely different situation. Now, could you have come up with a better play? I guess probably, but I mean, at the end of the day, you got a good look, and Draymond got a thumb on it, and that's the difference. Now, Kyle Lowry was not making that shot regardless. Kyle Lowry is not that good.
If he made it, would you
But
give him MVP? Finals
no,
MVP?
I still give it to Kawhi. But what's not talked about enough is Kawhi did not play well, except for that little 10-0 run he had, which
Yeah,
was
he would have had
monstrous.
16 points.
He would have had, and not efficiently. I mean, what was his shooting percentage last night? It was literally garbage. It definitely got inflated, but at one point he was 4 for 15, and it was just awful. I mean, he was shooting 26% from the field at one point in that game. And that's why I'm thinking they can win game 6 because I don't expect him to play that bad again. He shot 9 for 24 in game. He shot 37%. I mean, Kawhi Leonard's better than that. So I expect him to play better. Also, Danny Green didn't score. So I expect these guys to start.
Oh boy. Get down, Monty. Holy cow, Monty's fast.
I'd say the biggest thing. The foul trouble Gasol and Lowry got into really, really was important because they couldn't be as physical as they wanted to. So and same with Serge Ibaka.
Okay.
So that's something into game 6.
Something that you need to think about is this Raptors team got lucky with Draymond going back court. Like they really should have been down by 3 or 4.
They got a lucky break, and then they got another good break with the illegal screen. Which, by the way,
that's not a good break.
I'm telling you, the Warriors run that play so many times, and it's not called. And I know that it's the right call, but it's not called sometimes, and it leads to wide open threes. They have the most moving screens I've ever seen a team do without it getting called. Got called. So I mean, they were fortunate that Golden State didn't even get a shot on that possession. I mean, think about that. They didn't even get a shot, and you know they could have drained the clock down to 5 seconds. They only got to drain it down to like 14 or 15 seconds, giving you a great but I mean, at the end of the day, Draymond made a good play, helping out defensively, and yeah, I mean that's the tale. I mean, lot of credit. I hate the guys, but the Golden State Warriors, that's why they're champions, because they just don't go away.
Yeah. Something I do want to say is, shoot, I lost it. It was like, I'll try to remember it. But let's talk about the Royals, I guess you can say. If you want to give us a little update, because Jackson, you've been doing your podcast.
Oh yes.
What's the Royals in the last 14 games? Or whatever.
In the last 17, they're
17.
3-14, and they have not been playing well in that stretch offensively, which is striking because we have a lot of good hitters. And you look at the game tonight, they're not playing good offensively, down 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th. I mean, my God. I mean, these guys have to start playing better. That's the bottom line. They're better talent-wise, I believe, than they. Great game from Junis tonight.
Yeah, I would say that for sure.
I mean, 7 innings, 2 earned. That's really good. And Barlow threw a scoreless inning, so That's good because he's been
I
struggling
don't
a
know
lot
why
recently.
the Tigers pulled out whatever his name is.
Turnbull,
Yeah, he went 7 innings without,
he went 6 without a run. Yeah.
and then
He
they
only-
pull him.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. O'Hearn hit a dong, but we only have 6. I mean, they only have 5 hits. I mean, it's been a
And it's raining
low-scoring
right now.
affair.
Solaire's up. He could, if he gets a home run, he's only two home runs away from having the same amount of home runs as we do losses, which would be pretty embarrassing.
Whoa, 2 home runs away from how many losses we have?
Yeah.
So that would mean he's
Or
in the
wins.
40s.
Wins.
I was about to say, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, what?
I just
I was
really want
like, damn.
either
Soler has
Solaire
over
needs
4.
to hit a home run right now, and they call the game because it's about to start raining, or they play the 9th inning in the rain.
Do you think Soler should be in the home run derby? That's just a.
Yes.
I think he's good enough to be in it.
I've been
Will
talking
they
about
put him in it?
Solaire
That's
for
questionable.
No, he's from Kansas City. Are you silly?
They put Moustakas in it.
Okay, the one thing I have been saying about Solaire forever is this dude has power, and it's now showing.
Well, it's not. I mean, that was obvious. He's got power. Everyone knew he had power. They just wish he could get on base more. I mean, it's frustrating. It's just I have no idea what the hell this team's gonna do. It's a sad team.
Let's talk about mandatory camp starting up today. Chris Jones did not report to camp. Is this bad for the Chiefs? Bless you. Is this bad for the Chiefs?
Thank you. Not really. I mean, I
Get
bet
out.
he'll be there.
Yes.
He'll.
Solaire just brought in Mondesi.
What?
Solaire just brought in Mondesi, broke his bat, and the ball went in the outfield.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal because I think there's no way to come into training camp or play in week 1. I know he wants a new contract, and believe me, he's a great player, but I also think that the Chiefs have to be a little careful with this contract because Chris Jones is not Aaron Donald or, Khalil Mack. He's not that type of player. And you might say, well, I mean, look at all the sacks he got. Well, the only problem is a pretty average to below average run defender currently or against the run. And he needs to improve on that. So I would, it's risky. And you saw what happened every time we've given history, the times we've given a big contract to a defensive player like Houston or Barry, it just did not work out. They're wary of that and they don't want to overpay. And I think at the end of the day, Chris Jones has to realize that, hey, you're a great pass rusher, but we also have to pay guys like Pat, and we also have to pay guys like maybe now even Tyreek. We have to pay guys to stay on this team. I mean, we're paying Sammy Watkins, the second highest paid receiver in the league. So, I mean, I think Chris Jones needs to keep a team-first attitude with this, especially because he's not an Aaron Donald. But I do hope the man gets paid. He's a pass rusher.
Yeah, let's talk about Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is all these reports are now coming out saying he's innocent. The kid broke his arm while he was trying to catch himself from a fall.
Listen, I don't want to talk about the legal aspect of it because I'm not. It's pretty touchy when you get to that, and I don't want to trigger anyone or get.
Oh my God!
What?
Gore literally just slid in the third, started falling over it, but kept his foot on and fell and was still safe.
Holy crap!
Like,
did they pinch run?
Yeah, for Solaire.
So,
But this replay's crazy. I don't know how he kept his foot on because it's raining too.
Yeah. All right, but anyways, back to the point. I think I've said this the entire offseason. The Chiefs should prepare as if Tyreek won't be with come week 1, and that by drafting McCole, or is it
McCole Hardman or whatever? Drop. Oh, they dropped it! It dropped!
Did we score?
Yes! It was a blooper.
3-2?
Yep.
Oh, now we get to blow a save. All right. Anyways,
Or the
uh,
rain will give us the win.
hee hee. But yeah, no, I think now there's a pretty good shot we're gonna see him again.
So would you
And
say
I think the
prepare for
Chiefs have
him?
known all along. I would say see him. However, keep preparing as if it won't be there, because you never know when the next detail is going to come out and just absolutely change everything. If I'm the Chiefs, I am taking this approach as okay, Tyreek probably will be here, but let's pretend he's not.
All right. Well, when do you think the NFL will come up with their decision, at least saying we're going to suspend him for a little bit, or we're going to let the Chiefs
Yeah, I
do what they
think
want to do? When is this decision coming out?
I'd probably say July or August. I think once the final details of the police investigation are done and everything's done being investigated, I think the NFL will take it into their hands and look at it. And I think ultimately they'll probably give him a 4 or 5 game suspension.
So you think he still will get suspended, even though he's not
I mean,
going to be proven
they
guilty?
suspended Ezekiel Elliott for 4 games for literally something he didn't do. Listen, I believe they would. I feel like they want to make an example of this.
Maybe they did that with Zeke.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Goodell never ceases to amaze me, so we'll see.
So, if let's say the NFL doesn't suspend him, and you're the Chiefs, do you just let him come back, or are you suspending him?
I mean, I'd let him come back. I mean, if the police investigation comes back clean, then why should you do anything to him? There's no proof he did anything.
All right. And to wrap it off, someone said that was a 2015 rally right there.
Hell yeah.
Had flashbacks of Jose Bautista for a second, Royals review said. It just dropped right in between second base and right field. But your final thoughts, Jackson. Blues, Bruins, who's winning?
Blues are gonna win Game 7, 3-2. In
And a what?
Benning, what?
And what? Like overtime?
Blues are gonna win 3-2 in overtime, and Bennington's gonna have an insane save at the end, like right as the clock hits zeros. It's gonna be 2-2, and they're gonna have a great shot. They're gonna break free. The Blues are gonna absolutely collapse defensively, and Bennington's gonna save it. And then
And you were here,
we're gonna go to
Gloria,
overtime,
playing through the streets for the
and then
rest of the night.
we're gonna go to overtime, and O'Reilly's gonna about 7 minutes into overtime.
All right. Well, we will not have a podcast Saturday. I don't know if we are going to do anything for Game 7, if there is one on Sunday night, because of Father's Day. But
Oh, I forgot about that.
sounds like Jackson's really... Get it through. Get through. Go, Ryan. Yes. Oh, he dropped it. Go. Oh, my gosh.
I want to watch. I got to get off.
All right. We'll see you guys sometime soon. See ya.